Welcome to Wednesday. It is September 1st. Unbelievable. Don't know where this year's gone. Um I'm talking today about summer ghosts. And I know that sounds a little strange, and I really never thought about it. People always call it Christmas time because the ghosts are messing with the Christmas lights. So those are Christmas ghosts. And of course, Halloween is coming up. So people always get in the mood for ghosts at Halloween. And that's when they call me. So I always call those the Halloween ghosts. But I get June, I'll get a bunch. The ghosts ruin the wedding reception. So there's wedding ghosts. I guess I never really thought about seasonal ghosts, but these definitely are summer ghosts. So I got two letters and I will read them and you can see what happened. In 1998, we were living in Sandusky, Ohio, and we were having all kinds of problems, a lot of paranormal activity, and you came out and took care of all the problems, and we never had another problem after you came out. In January of 2000, we moved to Hollywood Hills, California. It was a job decision. We love California, the lifestyle, the weather, the sun, the nightlife. We had the kids were little, and we just really wanted to move out there. I mean, Sandusky, the seasons on the lake like that could be pretty brutal. We bought a house that had an in-ground pool, approximately a 16 by 32, hot tub, outdoor kitchen, a cabana. The outside living was wonderful. There was a small guest cottage, just a bedroom, a bath, and a small kitchenette. In June of 2000, we started having trouble with the pool. It was leaking, which in-ground pools really don't leak. The pump was always in need of repairs. We found the pool cover down in the ravine behind the property one morning. The cottage inside was trashed. We have outside cameras, but we saw no one. We never even saw the stuff being moved. It started getting worse and worse. We took our quince seeds from Ohio with us, and we called when we moved in January. The house was clear. You had to send out extra seeds for all the doors, but there was no problem in the house. We were surprised being in California, and the house was built in the 1920s. We were the fifth or sixth owners, so we were surprised we didn't have any earthbound spirits in the house, because we really would have brought you out if we did. Finally, Dee Dee, that's his wife, said maybe we should call Marianne. I put it off. Then around July 1st, somewhere between the 1st and the 4th of July, the propane was left on in the outdoor kitchen. The sink was plugged up in the outside kitchen. All the pool and deck chairs were in the pool. This was happening 2 or 3 times a week. A coyote got our little Pekingese. Oh. The filter went again on the pool. The company that came out 3 times a week, that's what we hired them to do, come out 3 times a week to take care of the pool, vacuum, and all that. Couldn't understand why everything was breaking. The pool was an excellent manufactured pool. There was no reason for it. The pool company had an employee from Mexico working for them. He refused to come back to even vacuum the pool. He said he saw a phantom walking out of the cottage. He was the only one who saw him, and after that, he absolutely refused to come back to the house. Then I finally called you. There were 2 ghosts outside when I called. One was hanging around the nanny. She was out with the kids. The other one was standing by the cottage by the door. and there was only one door into the cottage. We brought you out to California around the 15th of July on a Saturday. You were going to stay a couple of days. You got in on Saturday night late, after 10 o'clock by the time we got back to the house. You stayed in the guest suite in the house. We really didn't want you to stay outside in the guest cottage. We looked outside before we went to bed, and everything was in place. Everything was where it was supposed to be. Everything was all right. The next morning, it looked like a tornado went through the backyard. Table umbrellas turned inside out, like the wind got them. And I remember that. I remember when you are holding an umbrella and the wind gust comes and turns it like totally inside out. These big umbrellas on the tables were turned inside out. I don't know how that happened. Chairs in the pool, chairs in the hot tub. The window was broken in the cottage. The twinkle lights around the backyard were torn down. You couldn't believe how bad the pool area looked. Then you realized it was a full moon and a total lunar eclipse, which apparently gives earthbound spirits a lot of energy. And that's very true. There were 3 ghosts there. One previous owner who had been a stuntman and died at 34 working on a movie. The second one was a young man, 25 or so, that had been shot by the police during a robbery 3 houses down the street. The third one was a man that was so angry he couldn't get in the house because of the quince seeds. So now he was staying at the house next door, and he didn't like that house at all compared to our house. And he was just doing all this damage because he was so angry. You did get all 3 of them into the white light. 21 years later, and we never had any more trouble. The kids are out of college now and have kids of their own. My son said he has to call you. He lives in Newport now, and his 3-year-old daughter has a mean imaginary friend, which probably isn't imaginary. Glad you are still helping people. Don't know what we would have done without you. Rich and Dee Dee. I remember that. How much energy these ghosts had destroying this property. I don't really know of any house before or since that had that much damage done. I was pretty surprised, but then again, with the lunar eclipse, and it was a full lunar eclipse, the energy was unbelievable that they had. Plus, the family was so stressed out that they even got more. Here's the second summer ghost letter. Hi, Marianne. We live in Idaho. About 10 years ago, we were having a really bad time with our 3 teenage daughters, 17, 15, and 13. All 3 of them were afraid of their bedroom. They slept on the floor in the family room. They wouldn't even go upstairs. As soon as it got dusk or as soon as the sun was gone, they never went back upstairs. That's how afraid they were of their upstairs. In May, we decided to get an in-ground pool. It was done just about the time the girls' summer vacation started. As a dad, I was not very happy with their choice of swimwear, especially when their friends came over to swim, especially the boys. I'm biased, I know, but my daughters are beautiful. And I remember his 3 daughters. They are beautiful. As a matter of fact, he didn't put it in here, but one of the girls, I think the middle one, ended up winning a pretty big beauty pageant. My wife and I talked to them. We said the skimpy swimwear was okay when it was just them. They were not allowed to wear that type of bathing suit when they had company. They had to wear suits with more material. They complained but said, okay. By the end of June, the 15-year-old had really bad stomach issues. The 13-year-old couldn't sleep and had really bad headaches. The 17-year-old was really depressed. It started when she broke up with her boyfriend, the end of June, the beginning of July. Then the fighting, hitting, screaming started. The girls were never that angry with one another. When they were outside is when they would fight the most. The next thing, by August, they said stuff was missing from their rooms: jewelry, clothes, makeup, and they blamed each other. She's in there breaking my stuff. She's got my clothes. Why won't she give me my clothes? She ripped my shirt. I need my shirt. We were at a loss. Then I heard you on Coast to Coast Radio. I talked to my wife and decided to try to get hold of you. After a few weeks, you called and confirmed that we were what we were afraid of: two earthbound spirits in the house, and over the phone they looked like teenagers to you, maybe 16 and 18 years old. We smudged a lot. We had the house blessed like you suggested, but the girls were very afraid. You and your husband came out on a weekend. I think it was the last weekend in August. The girls had already started school, and you asked not to have the girls here when you came over. The girls begged to stay, and we said okay. I know you were very guarded about what you said because of the girls, and we actually appreciated that. The girls didn't have a lot of privacy, and the ghosts were touching them and all of their things. The 17-year-old boyfriend broke up with her. The 17-year-old's boyfriend broke up with her because of the older teenage boy ghost. The boys did go to the light. The one was dead about 20 years, the other about 25 years. The one gave you his name and we could find him. The other one refused to give you his name. They were both from a town over. They both drowned. And they did not know each other when they were alive. The odd thing that I can remember is that ghosts don't usually hang out with one another. That's very, very odd. But 16, 18, I guess you could still consider them kids. And kid ghosts do hang out with one another. As soon as they saw the girls by the pool, they moved in and into our house. Since you've been here, we've never had any problems, but the girls definitely keep their Quincy on them at all times, even after all these years. Paul and Annie. I do remember them. Their daughters were beautiful. And these two boys, they how easy was it for them to be touchy-feely when you're invisible? And how do kids explain that when nobody, they feel it, but they can't see anybody? Okay, I have been asked to make these shorter, that I'm making them too long, so we're going to cut this one. They said try to keep them under 15 minutes, and I guess I've been going 20 minutes, so that's too long. I want to remind people that this Monday is the Law of Abundance. It is at 8:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you adjust it to your time zone. That is on Monday, Labor Day, the 6th. The next Zoom is on the 10th of September. The one on the 20th is a full moon, so that one should be interesting. And if you're in this area on Labor Day, on the noon news on Channel 3, I will be doing clearing a house on there. It eventually will be put on our website for those of you that are not local. Okie doke. So have a really good Labor Day weekend, and I hope that this is making everybody happy that it's only 15 minutes long. Thank you very much, and we'll talk next Wednesday.